Welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to talk about the input devices. Okay, so in this segment you're going to understand what input device is all about. We'll be able to talk about the definition of the word input device, also talk about types of input device and how they are going to be applied in your workspace, in your workplace, or any other place that you want to use it. Okay, now let's dive in and see what input device is all about. So you cannot be able to talk about input device unless you understand what computer system is. So when you talk about a computer system, is a collection of components that work collectively to achieve a desired goal. So when you talk about a system, basically there is some kind of synergy between a certain component and a certain component, and there must be a desired goal. Now, what is the desired goal of a computer system? The desired goal of a computer system is to provide information. That is the end goal, and that is the ultimate point. Okay, now these three the computer system is made up of the following components. We have what we call the computer hardware, we have got what we call the computer software, and then we have got what we call the liveware. Now when we talk about the computer hardware, these are just physical components or physical parts of the computer that make up the computer system. Now when you talk about the computer hardware, it is classified into two. We have what we call the electronic devices, and then we have what we call the mechanical devices. Now with the electronic device, it requires electricity for them to work, but when you talk about the mechanical devices, they do not require electricity for them to work. Again, with the electronic devices, they participate in the transmission of data directly. They participate in that process of transmission of data through what we call the data buses. Okay, so it requires you maybe to have some buses that can enable to transmit data from one point to another. You need something that have ability to be able to conduct electricity, and that is what we call electronic devices. But when we talk about mechanical devices, they do not have that capability to transmit data, because it does not operate using the electricity. So that's something very important for you to understand. Now talking about software, computer softwares, these are just set of programs that instruct a computer on what to do. Now a computer cannot work minus the instructions. You need the instruction for the computer to give you the output that you require. Now we have also the liveware. So the liveware is me and you. The computer needs us for us to be able to give instruction, and then it can be able to do as we have instructed. Now the liveware, we have what we call the technical users, we have got what we call the novice users and the expert users. Now talking of expert users, these are the people who have the architectural and deep knowledge of the computer system. And then we talk about the technical users. These are the people who had the capability even to troubleshoot the computer system. And also we talk about the novice users. These are the people who uses the computer applications. They are just the end users of the computer in this particular space. Now let's dive into input devices. Now when we talk about an input device, is just a device that convert the human readable data into machine form so that the computer can process. So this computer cannot be able to work with the human readable form of data, because human readable form of data is something that me and you can be able to understand what you have just been able to write. Now for example, the computer cannot be able to understand the word like convert. So this data must be presented in a manner in which this computer can be able to understand, and that is what you call the binary. Okay, so the computer can only work with the binary. That's why we need these particular input devices to help us to do that. So that is the only form that the computer can be able to understand. And in this space, we are going to talk about three main input devices. We talk about the keying devices, we talk about the pointing devices, and lastly we'll be able to talk about scanning devices. Now here we have got a little diagram that try to show you all the input devices that we have. We have the keyboard, an example of the input device. We have got the graphic tablet, the biometrics, the webcam. We have the barcode scanner. We have the scanner, the microphone, and the mouse. All this information is there online. You can go online and just take maybe check on these input devices. But now we want to talk about each and every one of them. Now talking of the keying devices, these are the ones that convert the typed data or the typed information or the typed numbers, letters and special characters into machine readable form before processing takes place. Okay, now in order for you to key in data into your computer system, you require what we call an example like flexible keyboard. Now when we talk about flexible keyboard, these are the keyboard that can be folded and packed into a bag. Okay, and here we have the example of a flexible keyboard. So this keyboard is something that is foldable. You can just be able to fold it and just put it in your bag, and then you can be able to move from one point to another with it. Then another type of the keyboard is what we call the ergonomic keyboard. So with the ergonomic keyboard is the one that reduces the wrist strain experience when using the ordinary keyboard. So the ordinary keyboard sometimes has got some limitation because of the way it has been created in a standard way, but with the ergonomic keyboard is meant to reduce that wrist pain in the process of using it. That's why you can see it has been developed so much uniquely in a manner that it cannot it can be used effectively, okay, within a long hours without having any kind of strain whatsoever. Another one is what we call the touch screen keypad. So this one pop up in your screen. Okay, maybe you can be able to work with the keyboard that has been displayed on your screen as displayed in this diagram here. So you can see this is a keyboard. Okay, we call it it is called a touch screen keypad. So it is displayed on your screen, and therefore you can be able to work with it by just typing the commands on that screen. Then we have got what we call the braille keyboard. Now when you talk about the braille keyboard, this is a keyboard that is mounted on an assistive device which has a braille strip and buttons that are there. So you can see this is just a normal keyboard, a standard keyboard that has just been mounted on top of this assistive device, so that it can be used with people who have some kind of maybe eye difficulties. Okay, maybe they have an issue with the eyes and many other things, so they can be able to use the braille part of it. Okay, the braille strip and the buttons that are here, so that you can be able to input data into the computer system. Now when you talk about the keyboard, we have just been looking at the types of the keyboard, but keyboard is made up of keys, and now these are the types of keys on the keyboard. We have what we call the functional keys. So the functional keys, they run from F1 to F12. Each and every of these key has got a role it plays. Then we have what we call the number keys. So we have got the number keys that have been mentioned at the top here. We have got these 1 up to 10, up to 0, and then we have also some special characters that are there. We have the special character keys, special character keys, and you can see the arrows are really pointing exactly where these keys are located. Maybe I can pull it a little bit up so that it is visible enough. Alternatively, I can decide to use this. Maybe I can move it to the full screen so that it is visible enough to all of us. Now when you talk about the number key, the number keys, they are just made up of numericals 0 to 9, and then you talk about the special character keys, they are just made up of things like E, escape, we have got caps lock, we have got, and many other things. So you can see the arrow keys are there, the number keys. This diagram is everything. It has been able to be labeled very well with all the keys that you need to know in that space. Then we go to the next slide. Now we talk about the alphabet keys. It's just made up of A to Z, and then we talk about the number keys. It's made up of 0 to 9, and then we have got we have the number keys that is made up from 0 to 9. Then we have the arrow keys that is made up from, maybe we have the left arrow, like for example here we have the arrow keys. Just go back, we have the arrow keys here. So the arrow keys is made up of this is the left, the upward arrow key, the downward arrow key, we have the left arrow key, and then we have the right arrow key. Then we do have the numbering key. So here when you talk about the F1 basically is the one that is used to open the help facility, and also is mainly used in some computers is used for entering the BIOS setup of your computer system. F2 is mainly used for renaming. F2 is mainly used for renaming, so you can be able to change the name of the file. You can also be able to use the F2 to display a print preview in MS Word. So use just Control plus F2, and then you can be able to get the print preview. Then you can be able to also to enter to BIOS setup using these keys. Then we have F3. So F3 is mainly used for repeating the last command entered. Okay, where can you be able to use it in MS-DOS to do that? Then you can also be able to use F3 in combination with control key to lowercase any highlighted text. Okay, then we also can be able to use this F3 key together with shift, so that you can be able to change the text from uppercase to lowercase in Word, in Microsoft Word. Okay, so that is it about that. And then you go to the next one is F4. F4 is mainly used to close programs which is currently active in Microsoft Windows. So if you want to do that, you use Alt plus 4, F4, and then you can go to close all the program. Then you can go to use also the F4 together with control key to be able to close tabs or windows within a program. Now F5 is mainly used to do the refreshing the document. You can be able to refresh or reload a page on your Internet Explorer or any other browser. You can be able to use F5 to do that. Control plus 5 will refresh a web page. I've already said that. And it can also be used to start slideshow in Microsoft PowerPoint. So in case you want to start a Microsoft PowerPoint slideshow, you can be able to use F5. Then F6 is also used to do, it is used to switch between Microsoft Word documents. So you just use it in combination with Control plus Shift key together with F6, and then you can be able to move from one window Microsoft document to another. Then you have F7. F7 is used for spell checking or grammar checking in Microsoft Word and Outlook. Okay, and then you can also be able to use F8 to be able to enter the Windows setup menu that is commonly used to access Windows Safe Mode. Okay, so you just enter the Windows startup menu through F8. Okay, and therefore this Windows setup menu can be able to differ from one computer to another. So it's not that all computers are going to have the same settings. So it is just some computers that can allow you to do that using F8. Now going further, we have F9. F9 is mainly used to refresh a document in Microsoft Word. So if you want to do that, you use F9. F10 is mainly used to enter into BIOS setup. Okay, and then it allows you is used to maximize the window in Microsoft Word. Now you press Control plus F10, you'll be able to get a maximized window in Microsoft Word. And then F11 is mainly used to recover or access the hidden recovery partitions on many computers. So if you want to access maybe the partitions of your hard disk that is hidden, you can be able to use Control plus F11 for you to be able to access that. And then we have F12. F12 is mainly used to open a document in Microsoft Word, and you can also be able to use it by using Shift then F12 to save the document in Microsoft Word. Sometimes we use Control plus S, but sometimes if you want to use the functional key, you can use Shift plus F12 and you'll be able to save that document in Microsoft Word. Now going further, we want just to look at the special character keys. Talking of special character keys, we have what we call the scroll lock. Now when you want to the scroll lock is mainly used to prevent from scrolling your page of text. Yeah, so you have got a page of text and then you doesn't want to scroll it down. Okay, so it allows you to be able to by pressing when a scroll lock is selected, pressing the arrow keys result in scrolling through a page of text rather than moving the cursor from now this scroll lock key most of the time is not available in the current keyboards because maybe it's some kind of modification that has taken place, but mainly it was mainly used that every time you press the arrow key results in scrolling through a page of text rather than moving the cursor line by line. So it allows you to move from one point to another by using the arrow keys that are there on your keyboard. Then we have what we call the caps lock. So when you talk about the caps lock, is just meant to change the alphabet key from uppercase to lowercase or maybe when it was lowercase, you are supposed to put it in uppercase. You are supposed to use you turn it on, but when you want to turn it off, you'll be able to type in small letters, and if you want to, when it is on, you type it in capital letters. Numlock is mainly used to lock the part that has the numerics. So for example, if I go back to my keyboard here, I can show you the numlock. So we have got, this is the numlock. So we have got, this is the numeric keypad. So this is our numeric keypad that is here. But if I want to lock these numbers so that I cannot be able to use it, I click on it. So when this is on, I am allowed to use it, but when this is off, I am not going to use this part. So that is very simple for you to activate. So in case you want to activate this part, you just make sure that numlock has been turned on, but in case it is off, then it means that you cannot be able to use that part. Okay, now you're going further, we can be able to see that with the shift key, a shift key basically is used to toggle the key between its lowercase and uppercase. So in case you want to maybe to type something in capital letters, you just make sure you press the shift key, hold it down, and then type whatever you want to type in capital letters. But when you release the shift key, you can be able to type in small letters. Enter key, it is mainly used to perform a variety of functions, from ending the line or entry into an application. So in case you want to move from one line to another, you use the enter key. So you use the enter key to move from one line of your document to another. You can also be able to use the enter key to open an application or a software. Yeah. Then we go further to space bar. So when you talk about the space bar, is mainly used to produce one character of white space. So if you want to space between produce and one, here in between we have got some space, so you can be able to do that by using the space bar. So it is mainly used to do that. Backspace is used to erase characters on your left. Okay, so if you want to erase characters on your left, you use the backspace key. So backspace key is here. So maybe I can go back so that it is visible to all of us that this is the backspace key. So the backspace key is here. So the main reason of having this backspace key is just to make sure that you can be able to wrap the text on your right. Yeah, and then on your left, I mean, you can be able to wrap the text on your left. And then you need the delete key. So we have got the delete key here. This delete key is mainly used to wrap or to erase characters on your right. Backspace, characters on your left. Delete key is mainly used to erase characters on your right. So it is very much important for you to understand, because they are mainly used on the same role, backspace and delete key. They keep on confusing most of the users because you don't know exactly how you can be able to apply that. Now going further, we can be able to look at the control key. It's mainly used in many keyboard shortcuts. So I've talked of the Control A, it's mainly used for highlighting. Talking of Control plus Z, it is used for undo. So it is just some key that is used broadly in keyboard shortcuts. Then we have the Alt key. It is used in many keyboard shortcuts also. Yeah, you realize sometimes we say Alt Control and then F4. We say Alt then F4. Okay, so it's just some key that can be used in many keyboard shortcuts, and we'll be able to look at it as we continue in this course. Then we have the Tab key. A tab key is mainly used to move between items or move forward 5 characters. So if you press the Tab key, so where is the Tab key? A Tab key is always denoted by these. So it is here, this is the Tab key here. So this Tab key is mainly used to move 5 characters space, 5 character space. So when you press the space bar, this space bar, move 1 character, but when you press the Tab key, it moves 5 characters. So that's the difference between these two. They are only meant maybe for spacing, but there is some kind of difference between them in terms of the amount of space that can be left between one character and the other. So that's very important for you also to understand. Then we have the print screen. So a print screen basically is used to capture an image of the entire screen. So if you something like a screenshot, so if you want to take a screenshot of your page, you can use the print screen for you to do that. So the print screen is always having, maybe I can show you print screen on this keyboard. So we have got the print screen at the top here, so you can see this is where the print screen is. Yeah, so that is the print screen. And then we have what we call the pause break. So it's a default mode is in pause. The key will if enabled by the software pause the display or action of the application program. So if you want to pause the action of a certain application, you use the pause break. Okay, so you can also be able to have another key called escape key. So as escape key is mainly used it's an exit key by most software applications. So if you want to exit from that software application, you use the escape key, and it's also used in combination with other keys to create a special key value. So you can be able to use it with many other keys. Okay, and then the role it plays, it differs as per how many keys you're going to use. Yeah, but basically it's an exit key in most circumstances. Then you have got what we call the insert key. An insert key basically is used to switch between two modes when you are typing. The first mode is when typing appears before the cursor. So you can have the cursor before the text that you want to type, and then you can also be able to push any text that comes after it to the right. Okay, so that's the one of the type mode. And then in the second mode, any text that you want to type successfully replaces any text that is in the right of the cursor. So if you want to use those, we have what we call the type over, and then we have the insert mode. So insert mode does not delete anything, but type over, it means that it's going to replace already existing text. Those are the two types of insertions that you can go to do on your Word document, and therefore insert key is going to help us to do that. If you want to type in type over and then you want to type in insert mode, it's going to be changed using the insert key. Then we have what we call the delete key. So a delete key, basically I've already explained that it deletes characters on your left, on your right. This delete characters on your right. Alternatively, delete key can also be used to delete any content, file or media. So sometimes you're dealing with the Excel sheet and then you want to delete the content of that particular Excel sheet. Therefore, you just need to press the delete key. It's going to help you to delete all those content that are there. Then we move further. You'll be able to have the home key, and home key is basically used to return the text cursor to the beginning of the line on which you are currently typing. So in case you want to go back to the beginning of that line, you use the home key. Then you have the page up. So page up mainly is supposed to move one page up, yeah, into upward, and then page down moves the one page going down. Scroll down one page down. Then you have the end key to move the cursor to the end of the line. Home key moves you back to the beginning of the line, but when you talk about end key, it moves you to the end of that line. And then we have the Windows key. It is used in combination with other keys. So for example, if I press Windows plus E, you'll be able to see the Windows Explorer appear. When you use Windows plus another key like Windows plus X, you'll be able to see that another action appears, and so on and so forth. So it's a key that can be used in multiple forms together with other keys that you want to use. Now, next time when we meet in this particular tutorial, we're going to talk about pointing devices. Stay tuned up to the end. Bye bye for now.